Hey guys, Kev here, and I wanted to do a little sort of year in review wrap up for Divo knives. It's been a crazy year. We've released a bunch of designs and knives and whatnot, and I just wanted to run through the models, talk about them briefly, and I think I have everything here. We'll see. There's one I don't have. Oh, I do, but anyway. Let's just kind of get into it. So when the year started, 2023, we had just finished up dropping the Growler V1. So we dropped the Growler V1 in 2022 at the end of the year. And we weren't super excited about that release. Shielded Knives did not do the best job OEMing them, specifically QCing them. And we learned a lot of lessons from that. And, so going into 2023, we really wanted to focus on bringing you guys the best knives we can for the best price and making sure the quality was there. So the first knife we launched was the Mash. The Mash was a Blue Creek Knives exclusive, actually. Brian over at Blue Creek Knives, we partnered with him on it. He has since closed doors and has not come back, and I haven't heard from him or anything, so I hope he's doing well. But the Mash was a Blue Creek exclusive, and we had a V1 Mash drop in January, and you guys loved it. They sold out in a record amount of time. It was insane. I think it was like 5 minutes or something crazy. You guys bought them all. So we immediately ordered more, but we made some changes because that's what we like to do. If we feel like there's some significant things that we can adjust on a knife, we are going to do that on a second run. It's one of the benefits of doing smaller runs. We can gauge your guys' feedback and then come back with a better knife. That's kind of how we like to roll. So on the Mash V1, we got some feedback. And we had our own feedback as well. We wanted the hollow grind to come all the way out to the tip. The way they did it, it kind of like stopped here and you got a flat at the tip. So we did the hollow grind all the way out to the tip. We adjusted the stop pin a little bit. We asked them to tighten the tolerance on the liner to stop some of the reverberation in there. Trying to think if we did anything else, but I'm sure there's other stuff. That's not what this is about exactly. And then we released a Mash V2. I think that actually might have been the next knife to come out, but I'm not positive, so I'll talk about it. And the Mash V2 also did really well. You guys are amazing. I don't know what else to say, but we really appreciate you for supporting our brand. And it's really been amazing. So thank you so much. We did some different colorways for the V2. So the V1, we did a all stone or a bead blast handle with a satin blade. And then we did a reverse tux, which was a bead blast handle with a black wash blade. On the V2, we did this blue with black wash, and we did a black PVD handle with satin. And those did very well as well. I think those sold out in like a weekend or something like that. So again, you guys killed it. And those were smaller, quantity orders. I think overall there was like 700 mashes between the two runs. And we love the Mash. We have another batch of these in production right now. There is a V2.5. We basically left it the same as this, but we added pivot collars, and then we did some different color versions. So there's going to be all new colors, or whatever you want to call it, variations. So that's the Mash, and we love it, and it seems like you guys do too, so thank you for that. I think the next knife that came out was the Pony Stout. So the Pony Stout, it was our sort of follow-up in the budget realm to the Growler, right? So we wanted to make sure this one came out really, really well, and QSP who we partnered with on this one, did an excellent job. The mash was Kubi. They crushed it as well. And the Pony Stout is a White Mountain Knives exclusive model. So we like to work with dealers, and it helps us because we're not full-time. It helps us with logistics and stuff like that. They can handle a lot of that stuff. We can focus on design, dialing it in, and marketing and everything. And then the dealer can focus on shipping and logistics. So it's a good partnership we have with different dealers. And White Mountain Knives has been fantastic, and we had the Pony Stout come in. And we did 4 variations. We did this one in Black G10 and Stonewash. These are in 14C, 28N, and G10. And then we had a micarta in blue with a black wash. And then we also had the opposites of these. So we had black G10 and blue micarta, stonewash, and black wash, right? These did very well as well. They were very well received in the sort of budget realm. We ended up selling these, I think, for $75 or something like that. They were, I think, nicely affordable for what they are. And this is still one of my favorite models. It's just super comfortable in the hand. Carries really well. And for the price point, it's really nice to have something like this you can have as a user. You know what I mean? Or maybe if you're a budget guy, maybe this is one of your primary knives and it would work in that role. Has a really nice deep hollow grind, or I should say thin hollow grind. And yeah, we really like the Pony Stout. And we liked it so much that you guys asked us for a premium version. So right now in production with QSP, we have a premium Pony Stout that should be coming out in the near future, early 2024. This one features titanium and S90V. And then we added some jimping up here, and we adjusted the plunge grind a little bit. So you lose a little bit of choil, but you get a better plunge. We still have the wire clip, still the Pony Stout. Contoured scales, really thin, nice hollow grind, but you're going to get that premium feel, premium materials on it. But we're going to still try to keep it, affordable. Under $200 is the goal. So the Pony Stout, love it. Next, I think the Buzz came in. So we did a pre-order for this knife. This is the Divo Buzz. And they came in somewhere in April. These knives landed. We had a big chunk of stuff happen in April. We had the Mash V2s, we had the Pony Stouts, and we had the Buzzes all come in at the same time, right around there. And the Buzz, man, I love this knife. It's one of my favorite designs. Colin absolutely killed it on this one. It's just a really, really comfortable, good size knife. And then having the wheel style top flipper is just different. It's not the same that you see from everybody else. This is probably the knife out of everything we've released that has... it hasn't performed bad or anything, but it seems like the least popular out of the batch. Excuse me. And I don't know why that is. I think it might be price point, because this is from Best Tech. We had them make this. It's a titanium liner lock with a steel insert, titanium scales, 20 CV blade with the beautiful belt satin. So they just, they're more expensive to make, especially using Best Tech. They did an excellent job, but they retail for $330. These are actually available if you want to pick one up. I believe Blade HQ might have some, and Knife Center has some, and we might have one or two on our website. So if you want to check them out, I think we also have Zircuti backspacers that are absolutely stunning. I think we have those on sale right now for like $50 or something. And we did a few scale sets in these knurled scales. Best Tech actually screwed up with the wire clip. They didn't cut it to fit lynch clips and everything. And they caught that like 20 sets in. So then they offered to sell us those at a reduced rate with some milling or something. So that's what we did. So we only had like 20, and so they're just randomly out there with the knurling. If we ever run this knife again, we probably would just do it with the knurling because I think most people prefer it that way. But we do want to do a mini version. That's kind of on our docket, is to do a mini version that's a little more affordable, because I do think this knife, this design is fantastic. It's such a good user. Deep hollow ground blade, just cuts really well. The people who have them love them. You know, it's just, it didn't sell as well. Super fun choil and everything. So that was the Buzz. I'm trying to think of what came next. What came next? I think it was the Growler V2. So we had finally released a new version of the Growler. The knife I talked about that we dropped at the end of 22 that we weren't super happy with, that we got a lot of feedback from the community on, and we implemented as much of that feedback as we possibly could from you guys. And we truly appreciate it. We don't shy away from criticism. We take it and we harness it. That's the way to do it, in my opinion. So we contoured the scales. We upgraded the materials. This one's carbon fiber. This one's aluminum. We also had a G10. We added titanium hardware and pivot collars, titanium backspacer. We switched it to a wire clip from a sort of budgety, just deep carry clip. We made sure lynch clips would fit it, right? We shrunk the hole because that was a problem people had. The hole was too big and their whole finger would fit in there and it would be an issue. We made sure, since we switched OEMs to Kubi, that we got stronger detents. And, oh man, these detents are money. We did some new blade finishes. This one's a satin. So it's a machine satin with vertical up or horizontal up at the top. And this one is a sand wash or bead blast with a sand wash after. And then we changed the blade from 14C to 154 cm. 154 cm. And trying to think, what else did we change? We went to 5mm 1/16 bearings, so they were easier to swap out. And added some lock bar access. And man, this thing just, it's so good. Oh, jimping. We added a lot of jimping. It just kind of made sense with this model to jimp it all the way down like that. I believe we also added this swedge in that was on the original design, but Shieldin didn't do it. And it's a super thin behind the edge grind. It cuts extremely well. It fidgets really well. It's super comfortable in the hand. And they were coming in at right around $100, $90 to $100 with discount codes. This was also a White Mountain Knives exclusive knife. So that's the Growler V2. This carbon fiber one specifically was a huge hit. You guys loved this one. This one sold out. Yeah, it was like 5 minutes again. You guys are nuts. And I think they all sold out in like 5 hours or something. It's wild sometimes. You don't understand how humbling it is that you guys support us like that. We do not take it for granted, ever. And we're trying to make more of the knives. I know it's frustrating to people, but we don't have a mentality where we're sitting there going, oh, we're just going to sell all these, right? We're hoping that people will buy enough that it covers the run, We don't have that sort of like, oh, we're going to sell all these knives. And, so we don't order that many in case. So, the first run of these, we did 400, I think. We have another batch in the works now, I think another 300, and they're all carbon fiber. But there's 3 different variations of There's carbon fiber with purple and I think the sand wash, and then there's this version, and then there's a all blackout one with carbon fiber. I think we got 150 of this one, and then like 75 each of the other two, something like that. But, you know, if you guys like the model, we try to order more as quickly as we can and get more out there. But just know that, you know, we want everybody who wants one to get one, but we also are a business and we have to make sure we don't over order. And we're trying to find that balance. I think we are realizing that we are ordering less than we should. But it also helps because then we can update things. You know, we can get feedback and change things for that next run. And it is helpful. So anyway, the Growler V2 was great and we love it and there's more coming. So that's awesome. And then I think we went into summer and we kind of didn't have much going on. We got some prototypes in. We were waiting on stuff. And the next knife that dropped was the Nip. So this knife dropped. And again, you guys were amazing when this one came out. This one's still available. So you can, I believe, pick up this version from White Mountain Knives. So this knife is a White Mountain Knives exclusive in this version. So they have the stonewashed handle with blue accents and a stonewashed blade. And then traditionalpocketknives.com. This was the first time we worked with Austin over there. Fantastic dude. Really fantastic company. White Mountain, Justin, Austin at Traditional Pocket Knives. Just really, really great guys to work with. And we're just super happy that we have those relationships. So if either of you guys watch this, thank you so much for supporting Divo, working with us. It means the world to us. So we had those two exclusives. This one, I believe, is still available. There were more of these, I think, than anything else. So it makes sense. But I was surprised that the sort of worker finish one didn't sell the most. That was our anticipation, but you guys fell in love with the purple Nipple. This has it has purple and lavender camo carbon, purple accents, and then a belt satin grind. This is S90V steel. And yeah, these came out great, and they were also very well received. Again, we love you guys. Thank you so much. This one we called the Jack Sparrow model, and it has black pearl camo carbon. That's where I got that name. And then a belt satin as well. This is probably my favorite. This is my most carried version right here. Man, these break in so nice. I mean, look at that. This thing has a 2-inch cutting edge. It's crazy. Flipper tab, and then you have the hole for deployment as well. Really, really fun knife. Really, really good fifth pocket knife. You have that liner lock there to make sure it's easy to operate because it's such a small knife, you know. But yeah, you had some variation there, titanium and carbon fiber, so you can either get a little bit of a heavier one. Not heavy, I mean, they're still like 2.8 ounces or something like that. But a little bit on the heavier side. And you can go with titanium, or you could get carbon fiber. You know, it was kind of a nice little option there. Now, you guys loved this one, and we immediately started working on a budget version. So these are not expensive, I don't think. They're S90V and titanium or camo carbon with all titanium hardware, and they were $175. And most people used a code and got them for like $158 or something. So I don't think this is an expensive knife, but I know some people do. So we started working on a budget version. That is in the works now. We're getting prototypes made, and we're going to do, I think we're going to do G10 and aluminum, mostly aluminum. And then we're going to do probably, I don't know if we decided, but probably 154 CM. And we have a Hawksbill version. So we're going to do, at least for prototypes, we're going to do some in the traditional blade shape like this, the sheep's foot blade, Wharncliffe blade. And then we're going to do some with a hawkbill. So it's very similar. It just has that hawkbill blade on it. And we really want to do a hawkbill, and it seemed like a great opportunity. And hopefully we can get that out there, and, you know, it'll be nicely affordable for you guys. So that's the plan with the nip, to do a budget one. And we switch it to a wire clip for the budget one. We do have prototypes, and we're working on getting a slip joint version of that into production. This is called the nip slip. So same design, it's just changed up a little bit to be a slip joint, inlays, long pull, and all of that goodness. I cannot wait for this. We also had a pre-order release for the Urban EDC Barley. So Urban EDC is a company that we work with. Very, very cool people there. I work with them with the channel a lot. And they wanted one of our designs as one of their exclusive production knives. And so we worked with them on the Barley, which is a slip joint. And that pre-order happened, and they're in production, so they should be here in sometime in early 2024. We should see the Barley release, which is very, very cool. But when we did the Barley, we realized quickly we should try to do a locking version of this knife. And so I was thinking, like, why don't we do a bolster lock, sort of traditional looking locking knife based off of it? And Colin came up with an amazing design. And this was our last release of 2024, the Divo Knives Lush. And this was a traditional PocketKnives.com exclusive model. So I know it's a little confusing, but we have models that we sell directly, just us, and we'll sell to some dealers. And then we have models where specific versions are exclusives to dealers, like the nip you saw. And then we have models where the whole model is an exclusive to the dealer. So we're just partnered with them on the model, like the Growler V2 and the Mash. Although, like I said, the Mash, that dealer closed down, so now that's back to just being with us. But this is an exclusive for traditional PocketKnives.com. We just dropped these a couple weeks ago, and again, you guys loved them. Thank you so much. It's amazing. This is the Lush, and it's a bolster locking version of the Barley. And that is a sort of traditional style slip joint, modern traditional, I should say. And so we have a long pull on here, and then we added this really cool top flipper, front flipper. It does both, which is what's really fun about it. So you can line it up at the front here, and you can pop it around like a traditional front flipper. But you can also come up top on it and pop it around like a Bic lighter. And then you can also reach up here and do the reach around move on it. And then because it has the long pull, we made sure these edges were nice and crisp. You can reverse flick it extremely well also. And then you have a nice choil. You'll notice basically all of our knives have a forward finger choil that makes it super ergonomic. We really like sheep's footy style blades. We like hollow grinds. This is really nice and thin. And just a really good utility blade, really good cutter, and a fun knife to fidget with. One other thing we really like to focus on, obviously, is to make sure our knives are lefty friendly. So all of our knives will operate left-handed very well. I test them, obviously, and all of that. So you'll be able to reverse flick the knife. You'll be able to operate it, you know, with all the deployment methods, and you will have a reversible clip. We do have a model in production right now, the Stout V2, which is a pre-order we did this year, but it hasn't launched yet. And that we actually did full left-handed version. So we're really excited to get those in. They should be coming in very soon. So yeah, but anyway, we had the Lush release, and you guys loved this one as well. So we will we'll get more of these made in the near future. I think we're gonna try to do some different inlay options and stuff like that. So we're excited about that. And that was the last one. So that's a lot of knives we released this year. I mean, if you count the Mash V1, I mean, you had, I mean, we can count them. I don't know if I want to, but so you have the Mash V1 and V2, so that's 2 knives right there. You had the Buzz, that's 3. You had the Pony Stout, that's 4. You had the Growler V2, that's 5. You had the Nip, that's 6, and then we had the Lush, and that's 7. And if you want to count the Barley and the Stout V2 pre-orders, that would be 9, but I'm not counting pre-orders currently. And man, for all I know, I totally forgot something. I don't think so, but that's wild. 7 knives that released this year. Absolutely amazing. And you guys really supported us with that, and we appreciate it, truly. We appreciate it so much. So thank you. We have a lot more coming. Like I said, we're working on the nip slip. This is just one of the prototypes from a company. So we're working on that one. We're working on a really special knife with another YouTuber, Nick Stasa. This is the Fireball. We're dialing in this design to release. So stay tuned for the Fireball coming in 2024. Really excited about that one. We're going to have the budget nips. We're going to have more Growler V2s, more mashes. We're going to have the 2.5 mashes. We're going to have the premium Pony Stout. We're going to have the Stout V2s. We're working on some models you haven't even seen yet. I'm sure I'm even forgetting stuff. So we're going to keep rolling into 2024. And I just wanted to go over it. I just thought it'd be fun to kind of do a year in review of Divo knives and talk about it. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. If you picked up any, which one's your favorite? What's your favorite Divo knife this year? Is there anything you'd like us to do? Anything you'd like to see from us in the future in 2024? That would be super helpful to know. And thank you. From the bottom of our hearts, Colin and I thank you so much. Thank you to the dealers. Absolutely a pleasure working with the dealers. You know, thank you to all the other reviewers out there that have checked out our stuff, that have made videos on our stuff. Thank you. And mostly, thank you so much to you guys in the community that have shared Divo knives, that have bought Divo knives, that have really supported us in this venture. It means the world. So thank you so much. I hope you guys have an absolutely fantastic day, and I will catch you later.